Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. What do you want me to do for you? I want to see. You know, mystery stories fascinated audiences of every era. If you have a few years on you, you recall Charlie Chan stumbling across a puzzling crime. Something caught his eye, and to the amazement of his #1 bumbling son, he unlocks the mystery and he solves the crime. And there is Sherlock Holmes, placidly puffs his pipe and condescendingly looks down as Patricia goes on. Poor old Watson. Elementary, my dear Watson. Why did the dog bark? And he goes on to show how he solved the problem of the dog who didn't bark. Charlie Chan, Sherlock Holmes, they hear, they see, they ponder, they connect. Something seemingly innocuous and the mystery is solved. And we sit back and we muse, well, I saw and I heard the same thing. Why didn't I solve the mystery? Mark, in narratives preceding this afternoon's gospel, sketches portraits of those who had an abundance of signs evidencing who Jesus was and what he was about. And they said that they saw, but really they were blind. There was Peter. Jesus asked him, who do you say that I am? And Peter said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Oh, he had all the right words, but Peter didn't, and he wouldn't see that somehow suffering and death for Jesus, for himself, was the way to salvation. Good Master, Lord, the rich man affirmed. But when he was told what he had to do to follow Jesus, he couldn't bear the cost of discipleship. He really didn't see. He used the right words, but he didn't see. James and John, they identify him as king. And then Jesus asked of them the all-important question, what do you want of me? And their response reeks of self-interest, power, and prestige. They didn't get it. Their vision was clouded by what they thought was good for themselves. And then there is Bartimaeus. Physically, he was blind. But paradoxically, he sees. Because he knows who Jesus is. Jesus, Son of David. Son of David, that's a messianic title. And yet he knows that he's still blind. Have mercy on me. What do you want of me that I might see? He wasn't speaking just of physical sight. He aimed to encounter life with the vision that Jesus would give. Now, we don't know specifically what happened to Bartimaeus, except that he followed Jesus on the way. That's code in the scripture. It means he lived as a disciple of Jesus. So there's Peter, there's the rich man, there's James and John, there's Bartimaeus, and there's you and me. Do not be afraid. The Lord is calling you. And then the question to each of us, what do you want of me? And if we really know ourselves, as Bartimaeus knew himself, Lord, that I might see. That I may see with the eyes of faith, with the clear vision you have to offer, but you do not impose on me. With the eyes of faith, to see the universe around us as the awesome creator of a prodigal, loving Father, the earth on which we live as a place to protect and respect. With the eyes of faith, to see the unfolding of the human drama with all its warts and wrinkles as the temple in which Christ reveals the coming of God's reign. And so with that understanding, that optimistic, that hopeful understanding, we have the way to reach out to young people in the words of Jeremiah, who has God say, I will lead you to brooks of running water, for I am a father to my chosen people. We have to convey to our young people there's hope in this world. With the eyes of faith, to see that all the people of the earth, not in terms of their differences, but as brothers and sisters, whose gifts we applaud and whose needs we address. With the eyes of faith, to see, however dimly at times, that we are embraced and loved by a God who is always with us and who is always for us. Like the marriage covenant says, in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, and in and beyond the mystery of death. With the eyes of faith, to see that our talents, our privileged position, our backgrounds, education, strengths, opportunities for material success, to see with the eyes of faith that all this is gift. And it only makes sense if it's shared. How different our perception of reality, how different our response on the road of life when we see and respond through the eyes of faith.